Welcome back to my channel. We are out here in the beautiful Clearwater Beach. Now, you guys know that I've lived all around the world, Thailand, Vietnam. I've been to beaches everywhere, California, Florida, New York, Caribbean, Belize, Costa Rica, you name it. I've been to beaches everywhere. Hawaii, but I gotta say Clearwater Beach is definitely one of my favorite beaches, especially to shoot YouTube content. And I do feel like I owe Caitlin Bennett an apology because this is her territory. But from my understanding, she's not really producing as much content anymore because she's now a mother. So Caitlin Bennett, if you see this, congratulations. I'm very happy that your family is growing, and I wish you guys a lot of health and happiness, especially as we enter this holiday season. Today I wanted to talk to people about all the evidence that's dropping on Twitter, the Twitter files, the receipts that our government colluded with a bunch of left-wing activists within Twitter to do things like censor conservatives and censor Trump. And in my opinion, this behavior was treasonous, and it obviously affected the 2020 election in a way that, in my opinion, is unforgivable and has kind of put us all in this mess that we're in today when it comes to things like inflation, gas prices, the border crisis. You guys know the list goes on and on. So I do think that at some point, the employees at Twitter that engaged in this treasonous behavior, they need to be held accountable for interfering with our elections, because they did. And it's pretty clear now. And you can check out some of the threads by Dr. Schellenberger or Barry Weiss on Twitter to get more information and read the Twitter files yourself. So check it out, and let's see what the average American here thinks about what Twitter did to the 2020 election. And that's being proven today. Crazy times, guys. So today there's been a drop on Twitter that left-wing activists within Twitter, as well as the government, colluded to censor Trump and conservatives for the past 2.5, 3, 4 years. What are your thoughts on that? Is that a dangerous, slippery slope, or you think it's a good thing to be censoring one political party?
I don't think they should censor anybody, even if you don't agree with the opinion, even if it's not true, because I think, like, a lot of our ancestors, I feel like they died for us to be able to, like, speak freely and speak our mind and be able to speak without having, being scared of these big pharma or companies canceling you. Right. And I think that's kind of like everything, or like the foundation of like what America is being able to speak free and disagree. I think the biggest problem is in today's world is people can't disagree or like hear each other out. It always has to get personal, or it always has to get like into an argument, you know? So I think that's probably what I'd say.
So what are your thoughts about left-wing activists within Twitter? They're the ones who decided to block President Trump in 2020. That's why they nuked his account and erased him from the internet. What do you think about the decision that they made?
I kind of agree with him. I just think that it's wrong. I think everyone just has the right to see whatever everyone else posts. And if you're gonna, I don't know, I just think it's stupid.
Even Trump?
Do I think Trump's stupid?
No, I'm saying, do you think Trump has a right to post whatever he wants?
Yeah, I do. I think that if he can post whatever he wants, Biden can post whatever he wants. I think everyone should just be like open to seeing everything. I don't think one side should be not being able to be seen.
What about the incitement of violence? Do you think that should be limited on places like Twitter?
I mean, to a certain extent. Like, I don't think that people being like killed and all that should be posted openly. I mean, I think people should know about it, but maybe not like the graphic details. But I don't know. I think it depends on the person too.
I don't think there should be any like censorship on news. I think like there shouldn't be like
on
certain video. No, like I'm saying news. I'm not saying like video wise. I don't think people should be able to like just see like people randomly like getting shot in the street, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think the news should be there, but I don't think like
gore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think that should be there.
Awesome. And let me give you a third question. What are your thoughts on Elon Musk?
I think Elon Musk is an alien. I love him though. I'm a big fan of Tesla. Go SpaceX.
Awesome. So the final question to wrap things up: if the 2024 election were held today, who would you want to vote for? Open question. It could be anybody.
Could be anybody running?
Could be anybody. No, anybody in the world. If you had to pick a president that you want to vote for in 2024, who would it be?
I already know mine. Ron DeSantis.
Agreed.
No vote.
So you guys are all conservatives, Republicans?
Yeah,
Is that what you lean?
so, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So I just registered last week, finally,
Oh, okay.
and I registered as a Republican in Florida.
Oh, okay.
So if you look at my wrist, you'll see what side I'm on.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm on the Trump train. I want Trump more than DeSantis, even though I love DeSantis.
I think the only problem with Trump, okay,
Put it out there, go ahead.
I agree with a lot of the stuff he says. I think it's the way he comes across to most people that like it turns him off, you know? Like I think the message, like
The message is good.
yeah.
But
Let me ask you a question though. What would piss liberals off more, if Trump won or DeSantis won?
Oh, Trump. It's like
So that's why I want Trump to win.
not even
because
close, yeah.
it's going to be amazing. It's going to be hilarious if he wins, you know?
I hope, yeah, that would be hilarious.
And then we keep DeSantis down here and keep Florida free.
right.
Because who knows, if he leaves, we might get a freaking blue person back in.
I know.
Right.
And then if COVID 3.9 comes out, then we're all going to be locked down. And I don't want that.
Shut down
No.
again,
You know? Are you guys vaccinated?
That's undisclosed. I'm not going to answer that.
Yeah. Undisclosed.
No.
Hell yeah, my brother right here. I didn't do that. I didn't put it in my body. How often do you come out here with your signs?
Well, I'm from Tampa, and I've been doing this kind of mystery stuff for a while. And after COVID ended, I realized the beach is a good place to go. I try
Yeah.
to come out at least a couple nights a week. It's very, yeah,
Do you think that we're currently in a war of good versus evil?
absolutely.
Yeah. So the reason why I'm out here today is actually, do you ever use Twitter?
If I'm looking at a news thing and it pulls me up to Twitter, I'll look at it.
Okay.
But I don't have my own account.
So you're familiar with Twitter?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, Elon Musk recently purchased
Correct.
Twitter, right?
Yeah.
So he's been dropping proof and evidence this whole week that there are some Democrat activists within Twitter that they're the ones that made a decision to censor Trump and censor conservatives for the past 5 years.
Right.
It's been very one-sided, but now we have the proof, we have the evidence. What are your thoughts about them doing that to one side of the political spectrum?
Twitter's a private company, but for the government to do something like that, I think it's very wrong.
Well, that's the thing. It's been proven now that there's been government agents that have infiltrated Twitter, and they're partially responsible for censoring a sitting president, Trump.
Right.
Isn't that crazy?
It's very crazy. Yeah.
Did you think that you'd see this kind of censorship in your lifetime in the U.S.?
It's probably been going on, but to be exposed and to that degree, as a younger person, to me it didn't matter. But as you get older, your views and you get more interested in things. But it's shocking to think here in government, is so, what's the word I'm looking for? Deceitful, right?
It makes us no different than China, I feel like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And even I think Dr. Fauci said China's playbook for how they handled the pandemic, he wanted to copy that here in the U.S.
So that, okay. Yeah.
Dr. Fauci said that they should look towards China as like a model for how to handle a pandemic.
Right.
And you know what they did in China? They locked people home.
Yeah.
They screwed their people into their home with a screwdriver.
Right,
It's
right.
crazy shit.
Yeah, absolutely. I
So-
agree with what you're saying. Yeah. And I think it didn't come from a wet market. I think it came from the Wuhan lab. The whole COVID.
That we all know.
Yeah, but it's just, Trump, him getting him in office and just exposing things, it brought everything to the light. Go ahead, though. Yeah.
Now that Trump announced he's going to run in 2024, are you going to be voting for him?
I'll probably vote for him. Yeah. When he ran as the primary, I voted for Ted Cruz because I'm more of Christian.
Yeah.
But I personally was more prefer of Donald Trump. He's not a Sunday school teacher, but he's a leader. We don't need a Sunday school leader. We need
Right.
a leader, not these political hacks. Right?
Exactly.
Right.
Well said.
Okay.
Awesome.
But yeah.
Well, keep it the fight, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much for everything you do.
You're welcome. Man.
Appreciate you.
Okay.
So, have you seen the news lately about Twitter being taken over by Elon Musk?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. It just showed a different side of Elon Musk that I used to be like a fan of Tesla, but now it kind of makes me feel like whatever he's doing with Twitter makes me feel like maybe not so much anymore.
What do you think he's doing wrong with Twitter?
The part where he's charging people, I don't know. I think maybe,
So you're not a paying customer?
No.
Okay.
I don't-
I am.
I don't even have a Twitter account.
Okay.
I mean, I do look at it, from time to time when I see people post stuff, but I don't even.
Well, it's become like the town square of kind of the world,
Right.
where everybody goes to have discussions and everything. So I love Twitter.
Okay.
I think it's a really important platform. Now, in the last couple of days, Twitter has been releasing, through Elon Musk, proof that Democrats and liberal activists within the company, they're the ones that chose to ban Donald Trump in 2020, and that they've been banning and censoring conservatives and Republicans for the past 2.5 years, simply because they don't agree with a lot of things that Republicans, conservatives say.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that as a precedent? Should social media platforms like Twitter be allowed to censor and suppress one side of the political debate?
I don't know. I think the president just need to be censored when it comes to a lot of very what do you call it? Topic that are sensitive like that, that's just part of being professional.
So you think Trump should have been banned? A sitting president.
Well, yeah, because of the stuff he said.
But think about this is a world leader.
It doesn't matter if you're a world leader. It doesn't matter if you're poor or you're rich. If you're saying things that are offensive, that should not be said like that. Especially if you're a world leader, you should be held to a higher standard. And if you're gonna come out and just bluntly say the stuff that you say, it goes to show your character a lot, and it goes to show what America is and what America is about, because you're representing America.
So let me ask you a question. There's been Twitter tweets from other world leaders calling for violence, where one world leader said that they should be allowed to kill millions of French people because of the atrocities of the past. That was left on Twitter and allowed to stay up, and he was never banned.
I was not aware of
well,
that.
Right. Well, a lot of us, I wasn't aware of this too, but I heard about this recently. My point is, you've had world leaders calling directly calls for violence and not get banned or censored.
I think they should get banned too.
So you'd like to see them all get banned as well?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So for you, free speech does have limitations?
Yes.
Okay. Incitement to violence, no good.
Signs of violence.
Like incitements to violence. If someone says
Yeah.
to be violent, you say get that off the internet.
Yes.
What about hate speech?
I don't believe in that either. I think that should be off too.
That should be censored as well?
Yes. Because we don't know who's looking at it. If they have censor for movies for kids, why don't they have censors for that too? Because if kids can easily access that stuff, why do you want them to see that when you won't even let them see R-rated movie?
But kids could access anything they want. Everything's so easy these days to get around these censors and, these blacklists, right? People could find it if they seek it anyway.
Yeah, but the more you can prevent, the better it is for them.
Do you think that censorship, because it seems that you agree with some level of censorship,
Right.
is a slippery slope? Because we're supposed to be America, free speech.
Right. Well, it's just like one of those things, right? You don't just go into a theater and call fire. You know what I mean? There's a limit to that.
Right.
So there's a limit to everything.
If the election were held today between Trump and Biden for 2024, who are you going with?
I'm not a very political person. I just go with what I think is right in my moral ethic. And if I have to choose the two party, I have to choose the lesser of the evil, right? Because I believe they're both evil. I honestly do. So
who's the lesser evil to you?
I guess Biden's the less evil for me.
See, I think that he's the bigger evil. And I think Trump is just good. Isn't that wild? I don't look at it as the two evils.
Well, that's your opinion.
I look at it as Trump is God, Emperor, King. And I look at Biden as a very corrupt politician for 50 years.
That's your opinion.
It is.
I think it has to do with me being Asian too, and Trump saying what he said.
Why do you keep calling this the Chinese virus? A
Because
lot of
it
people
comes
say
from
it's
China.
racist.
It's not racist at all. No, not at all. It comes from China.
A lot of them are going more conservative now.
No, I wouldn't say a lot.
Okay,
I'm
Chinese
from the-
Americans are though.
No, I don't agree with that.
Well, I'll give you a data point. So, do you know the Proud Boys? So one of them got stabbed, and the Proud Boys are a right-wing group. He did a GoFundMe, a fundraiser to help him with his hospital bills.
Sure.
85% of people that donated had Chinese surnames. 85%. From my understanding,
where did you get your source from?
it was from they pulled the data of everyone that donated the last names on the
Well,
GoFundMe, the
I have
public
to
data.
see that for myself to believe in that.
Chinese Americans in general that don't like the CCP, they typically love Trump because they know the dangers of communism. They know the dangers of censorship, of losing free speech, of authoritarian governments, which is
Right.
why a lot of the Chinese Americans who left the CCP, they love Trump.
But we're not just talking about Chinese here, because
We're
I'm
not, we're not.
Chinese. I'm
No,
talking
no, I'm not
about
saying you are, but
Asian in general are getting attacked for that specific reason, and I don't agree with that, especially our elders. And I love my elders and I respect them. So
Yes,
for
the
them-
elders, I see that a lot in the news.
Right.
Asians are getting attacked, older Asians.
Right. So I don't agree with that.
Right. How do we stop that though?
Because you have to take a
Well, like I said, like if someone is a professional and they're held to a higher standard, they shouldn't incite things that are not true, and it causes that kind of backlash.
Have you ever looked at the data about who is attacking Asian Americans? FBI data?
No, I have not.
So I'll tell you, in San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
Big Asian population there.
Right. I've been
And this
there.
is 10 years ago, the data. 85% of attacks, of all violent attacks in San Francisco, were young black men attacking elderly Asians.
I can't agree to that because.
Well, it's the data. It's the data. It says 85%.
Well, I haven't seen it for myself. So
Let's
I can't
assume.
believe
Let's assume that I'm not lying. Let's just pretend, for the sake of this argument. Let's pretend for the sake of I'm not pulling this out of my ass. When I saw that data point, I was shocked by that
Okay.
because the media always says white supremacy, and I'm like, but then why? When I look at the videos of these crimes happening, the videos that at least we have access
Well,
to.
I believe in education, and I felt that usually that kind of stuff happened in a lower educated part of town and whatnot, and I feel like it's targeting the uneducated, and the uneducated fear for it, and they turn everyone against each other.
It's true.
So I mean that's a possibility. I mean,
So-
if you're a highly educated person and you really did earn your money, and you really did earn your degree, and I mean, you're a professional. You lead a life that you think it's fair. You don't go around and just attack no elderly Asian person.
I think it's such a disgrace when I see it. It makes me so angry when I see Asians being attacked or any elderly person being attacked violently on the street.
Right.
Because these people they're caught off guard, they're blindsided, they did nothing wrong, and even if they saw the attack coming, they can't defend themselves.
Right.
It's picking on the weakest members of society.
Yeah, but people are picking on people because they fear who they are, because they don't know who they are, and they're not educated to understand what kind of people they are.
I think Americans in general need to travel more
Yes,
and experience
I
other
completely
cultures.
agree.
So that is going to wrap it up for today, guys. We got 3 solid interviews in today here on the street in Clearwater Beach. And as you can see, some people are for censorship, some are against it. And Elon is definitely fighting to save the future of humanity by trying to bring free speech back to Twitter, to the public town square. So I'm a big fan of what he's doing. I think he's got to double down and let people like Alex Jones back on. I don't think Alex Jones deserves to be censored or banned. And Elon Musk or Twitter, if you see this, please unshadow ban and uncensor my channel because I'd like to grow a little bit faster, since I do believe Twitter is going to be the next YouTube. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Drop it below. And as always, God bless Trump.